If you're new to our channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button.
Welcome to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener. I'm Joey Baird. Well, we're going to plant Brussels sprouts, not only just in the ground as we have traditionally in our garden, but also in a raised bed. We find that Brussels sprouts are one of the most durable plants to grow physically in the ground, even through our transition from ground garden into raised bed gardening. So we purchased these from our garden center because we just did not have good germination on the Brussels sprouts in which we started. We now know that those seeds are no longer viable and we need to get new seeds for next year. So how we're going to plant there, we're going to do 4 here, going to do 2 here, and then on a raised bed we're going to do another 6 to just show that we can, plant everywhere and to kind of spread out our Brussels sprout planting into a couple of different areas. Now with your garden center 6-packs here, we want to squeeze the bottom. You don't have to have them sopping wet, but you're going to pull them out and soil is going to fall off of them. That's just part of the procedure, but we got good white roots, good healthy plant start. So we're going to set that over in this bed here until we get our hole dug. So we've taken and not tilled the soil up in the whole area. We've just loosened the soil up in the specific planting location that our Brussels sprouts are going to go. And as the process goes, we'll be removing roots and weeds and debris in order to get them planted. Now we want to plant them at the same depth in which they are in the container. However, I'm making kind of a well here. The soil level will be the same as it is here, but the actual cavity will be a bowl shape so water can pool there and hydrate it during rain or watering. So we want to fertilize these. They say take 90 to 120 days, something like that on the back of it. They say 85 to 90 days to mature. We have always found that they mature as the days get cooler and the nights get longer and colder, and we harvest them somewhere around the middle of October. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to use the 6 Macro Plus IV Organics fertilizer, the recommended rate, I know based on the handful, and we're just going to put it in the hole. Now anytime we're planting a plant start, we don't want to plant it directly on the fertilizer, even though it's organic, because it can burn. The interesting part about the 6 Macro Plus fertilizer, it has nitrogen, potassium, phosphate, typical 3, but also has magnesium, sulfur, and calcium, an added 3 nutrients that are typically not focused upon during normal fertilizer production. So we're going to take our Brussels sprout, put it in the ground. The soil is clumpy, but it will settle and work well. Get that weed out of there, get that weed out of there. And we are planted. Now you can do 2 things here. You can take, like we're doing here, mulch of straw, chemical-free, seed-free grass clippings, shredded paper, or any type of other mulch and put around it. You can also put a collar around it to protect it so you know where it's at, and then also kind of protect it from other insects that may be wanting to attack it. We've not found the problems with the insect, but a collar can simply be a 3 or 4 inch piece of PVC pipe that we place around the plant, such as this. We put it around there, and last year the plants grew and we kept the collar on the entire time because we just didn't remove it. It didn't inhibit the growth at all, but it does add another layer of protection on the physical ground. Now when we go to the raised beds, we won't be doing the collar at all because we'll be elevated and the soil will be better, and we just don't feel it's necessary. So I'm going to get these 6 planted, and then we'll go to the raised bed. And the similarities in the planting is very close to one another, just we'll be in a raised bed. So with the raised bed and the ground garden, we're planting them about 12 to 14 inches apart. This bed is 52 inches wide, so that's why we were able to get the 3 in here more easily than a 4-foot wide bed. Each Brussels sprout, based on the variety and the health and the maintenance in which you give the plant, can produce 20 to 40 sprouts on a given plant and can get 2 to 3 foot tall. So at the time of harvest, these plants will be that high, and this will just be a shrub of Brussels sprouts as we have planted it before this intensely. They grow into one another. They're fine. They don't have any competitive nature in which one plant seems to be lacking because it's fighting with another plant. We are in partial shade here. Brussels sprouts are one of those plants in which can handle partial shade, meaning about 6 hours minimum sunlight. Preferably all vegetables would like a full 8 hours of sunlight or beyond, but Brussels sprouts are one of those brassicas. It's a brassica member family, and it can handle it just fine. So very similar to the planting. These are much larger as we got them from a different garden center. We're just going to plant them the same, digging the hole. So we are adding the fertilizer to give the plants additional nutrients if it so desires, even with the compost. So we're just going to plant them at the same level. Now these plants you can see here are somewhat damaged. That's not going to hurt the plant. We're just going to pull those broken leaves off, plant it again, mix the fertilizer in with the soil. We won't put a collar on these, and since these are individual, we do not necessarily have to tease the roots, but you can, and by teasing the roots you just grab and pull and open it up, plant it, and you're going to be good. So planting Brussels sprouts, if you do not like Brussels sprouts, you may have not ever had fresh grown Brussels sprouts. You may have just got those in the store, and of course those aren't very good because they've been harvested a long time before you purchased them, and they can't have not the most wonderful taste. So encourage you to grow a couple of Brussels sprouts. At this point you need to purchase them from your garden center, but you can get them in individuals like we have here, or you can get them in 6-packs. Thanks for watching. I'm Joey Barrett, and this has been the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener.
For more information, please visit thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.